Hey, take a breath for a second and imagine this. You press play and the sound doesn't just play back, it fills your space. That moment where audio stops feeling flat and starts feeling like it's part of the action? That's exactly what happens the first time you experience the Q990F. Before we go any deeper, check the current price and availability. Sound systems like this with real Dolby Atmos, wireless subwoofer, and full surround staging don't stay at stable pricing forever, and you don't want to come back later wishing you'd pulled the trigger when the numbers were better. This is for the person who feels when the audio doesn't match the picture, not just hears it. You're the one who sat through movies where the dialogue floats without presence, or games where footsteps feel distant instead of directional, or music that sounds like it's happening behind you instead of around you. You knew it was time to upgrade the moment your current gear started holding back the experience instead of amplifying it. Once you hear what a real 11.1.4 setup actually does, where sound moves above you, around you, and with depth you didn't know was missing, everything weaker starts to feel like a compromise you shouldn't accept anymore. The first time you power this up, it doesn't just get louder, it comes alive. Sound isn't confined to a bar under the TV. It sweeps through space with movement and dimension. Dialogue stays anchored and clear. Explosions hit with weight. Ambience wraps around you instead of sitting flat in front of you. And because this system includes a wireless subwoofer and rear speakers, every channel feels intentional instead of just there. That's the emotional shift between tolerating sound and actually feeling it. Picture sitting down for a movie and suddenly hearing rain fall around you instead of just behind the glass. Imagine your favorite game where directional audio actually guides your awareness instead of just happening in the background. Think about music that suddenly reveals layers you'd never noticed, not because it's louder, but because it's spatial. That's the difference between sound that plays and sound that immerses you. Take another look at the price while you're here. Don't let weird stock swings or fleeting deals talk you out of something that genuinely changes how you watch and listen. If a thought creeps in like, is this just hype? Here's the twist. It stops feeling like hype the moment you hear adaptive sound shape itself to your room and content. You don't chase loud, you settle into clarity, depth, and movement that feels natural. One surprise benefit? When paired with Samsung's Q-Symphony, your TV speakers and sound system actually work together instead of competing, and that cohesion makes everyday viewing feel richer without you having to tweak settings. Owning this feels different. You notice it the moment the first scene unfolds and the sound feels anchored instead of drifting. You feel it when spatial cues actually place effects above and beside you. You realize this is gear built for someone who recognizes quality the moment they hear it. Sound feels layered, not flat. Effects feel directional and alive. Dialogue feels grounded and clear. Music feels rich and expansive. It feels like audio you're genuinely glad you chose. It's larger than tiny tabletop speakers. It rewards thoughtful placement with real immersion. At some point you stop circling back to weaker options. Every time you consider something less capable, your mind ends up right back here, because deep down you already know what you really want. Don't let this be one of those upgrades you delay and regret later. If you're ready to stop settling for disconnected, one-dimensional sound and actually feel every moment of your movies, games, and shows, check the current pricing, lock it in, and make the move. This is the sound system that matches how seriously you listen.